From Karl Malone fathering twins with a 13-year-old, to Dennis Rodman grappling with his father's rampant infidelity while later repeating
We had an expedition, and we kind of lived in that for a little bit. I'm crying. No one knows what's going on. I'm like, dude, my dad's here. And then I walk over, and again, there's cameras everywhere. He grabs my head.
Similar patterns in his own family, to Tristan Thompson's
I made Tristan do 3 DNA tests.
ongoing public collisions with the Kardashian empire. The NBA's biggest names are not just defined by banners and trophies. Behind the highlights and championships lie personal histories far darker than anything that happened on the court. These basketball legends carry family secrets that rival the intensity of any playoff run. And the most shocking story of them all begins at the very top. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player to ever live, spent decades protecting his private life with the same intensity he used to protect the paint. Yet even his airness could not escape the most devastating chapter imaginable. On July 23, 1993, James Raymond Jordan Sr. was shot while sleeping in his Lexus on a North Carolina highway. Authorities later determined the killing resulted from a random carjacking. 2 teenagers, Daniel Green and Larry Deary, were eventually convicted, with Jordan's body discovered weeks later in a South Carolina swamp. This is where the narrative took a disturbing turn. Michael Jordan's well-documented gambling habits immediately ignited conspiracy theories powerful enough to fuel tabloid empires. Whispers spread that the murder was mob retaliation over unpaid gambling debts, especially following Jordan's infamous Atlantic City casino trip during the 1993 NBA playoffs. When Jordan abruptly retired from basketball that October, speculation intensified, with armchair detectives connecting dots that never truly aligned. Despite the noise, authorities conducted a thorough investigation and concluded definitively that the murder had no connection to gambling. Jordan himself later described those rumors as cruel and deeply painful, addressing them directly in the Last Dance documentary, where he emotionally dismantled the conspiracy theories. Another controversy surfaced 2 decades later. In 2013, a paternity lawsuit emerged when Pamela Y. Smith claimed Jordan had fathered her 16-year-old son. DNA testing conclusively disproved the allegation, and Smith was ordered to pay Jordan's legal fees for filing false claims. But while Jordan's case collapsed under scrutiny, the next Legends scandal was grounded in undeniable truth, and it makes Jordan's situation look almost trivial by comparison. Karl Malone's legacy takes a sharp turn once the spotlight shifts off the hardwood. While the mailman delivered dominance on the court, his personal life tells a story that is impossible to ignore. When Malone was a 20-year-old sophomore at Louisiana Tech, he impregnated 13-year-old Gloria Bell. Under Louisiana law at the time, where the age of consent was 17, the act constituted statutory rape. Bell's family reportedly declined to press charges to avoid jeopardizing Malone's NBA future. A grown man faced no legal consequences because basketball mattered more than justice. Gloria Bell gave birth to twins on May 3, 1984, Cheryl Ford and Demetris Bell. Malone initially denied paternity when Bell's grandparents filed a lawsuit in 1986 seeking just $200 per week in child support. DNA testing confirmed Malone was the father, yet a judge ordered him to pay only $125 weekly plus medical expenses before the case was settled privately. Demetris Bell, who later played in the NFL for the Buffalo Bills, described Malone's involvement as non-existent, saying it felt as though his mother had simply gone to a sperm bank. When Demetris attempted to build a relationship as a teenager, Malone told him it was too late and that he would have to make it on his own. The 2004 Vanessa Bryant harassment scandal only further darkened Malone's already damaged legacy. But even Malone's denial pales compared to the elaborate concealment practiced by the next legend. Calvin Murphy, standing just 5'9", remains the shortest player ever inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Yet his family tree is anything but small. Murphy fathered 14 children with 9 different women, most of them born out of wedlock during his playing career and largely hidden from the public eye. The truth exploded in 2004 during a child abuse trial that stunned the basketball world. 5 adult daughters from relationships outside Murphy's marriage accused him of sexually abusing them between 1988 and 1991, when they were between 6 and 13 years old. Prosecutors described a calculated system in which Murphy instructed his out-of-wedlock children not to call him Dad in public in order to protect his wholesome broadcaster image. Testimony revealed children scattered across the country receiving minimal support, while Murphy's legitimate household benefited fully from his fame and wealth. The defense argued the accusations stemmed from resentment over favoritism and disputes involving approximately $52,000 in retirement death benefits. After just 2 hours of deliberation, Murphy was acquitted on all charges. He returned to Houston Rockets broadcasting in 2012, later calling the ordeal the hardest experience of his life. While Murphy's 14 children shocked fans, the next legend transformed fatherhood into something closer to an extreme sport. Shawn Kemp, known as the Rain Man, terrorized defenders throughout the 1990s with thunderous dunks in Seattle. Yet his off-court output was even more prolific. A 1998 Sports Illustrated article titled Paternity Ward reported that Kemp had 7 children with 6 different women by the age of 28. Internet rumors later inflated those numbers to 11 children with 10 women, though no credible evidence supports anything beyond the original 7. The financial consequences were severe. Kemp's child support obligations are widely cited as a major factor in the collapse of his net worth, which reportedly fell from more than $90 million at his peak to roughly $5 million. Among his known children are Shawn Kemp Jr., who played college basketball at the University of Washington, and Jamon Kemp, who competed at Southeastern Louisiana University. Kemp married Marvina L. Thomas around 2001 and reportedly had 3 children with her before they separated. In 1999, Kemp appeared on Jim Rome's show, where he addressed a Sports Illustrated article for the first time, admitting his behavior was wrong and acknowledging that he had to live with the consequences. Former teammate Gary Payton later joked about Kemp's situation on Vlad TV, highlighting how young NBA players often ignored protection while enjoying fame. But if Kemp's situation seems overwhelming, the next legend's family story reaches an almost unimaginable scale. Dennis Rodman, the Worm, rebounded like no player in NBA history. Yet his family history is arguably the most tragic of all. Rodman's father, Philander Rodman Jr., abandoned the family when Dennis was around 3 years old. He later settled in the Philippines, where he fathered at least 29 children with 16 different women. Some reports place the total number of Rodman's siblings as high as 47, a figure Dennis himself has claimed. Rodman did not meet his father until 2012 during an exhibition game in Manila, marking 42 years of separation. Their reunion was brief and awkward, consisting of handshakes and pleasantries. Philander operated a restaurant called Rodman's Rainbow Obama Burger and passed away in 2020 from prostate cancer, never truly reconnecting with his famous son. The cycle of abandonment continued into the next generation,